Hey guys, sorry I clicked the wrong button on the last one. Still getting used to this. So I got people responding to my last live stream saying, you know, and some of my tweets and things saying, what's wrong with having diversity? You know, reasonable question. What's wrong with having diversity? The question really comes down to, when is there enough diversity? You know, because, for example, London in 1940, it was 95% white people. Now, in 2017, it's 45% white people. So, in the space of 70 years, it's gone from virtually all white to less than half white. And within another 100 years, if those trends continue, there will be no white people in London. Now, London was built by white people, whether you want to go all the way back to the Romans, who came from Italy, or whether you want to talk about the native English people who participated in the building of London. Or even perhaps you want to talk about some French migration or some Swedish migration or some Irish migration, and those European peoples who contributed to building England and to making it what it is. So why should the descendants of those people not benefit from what is being built there by their ancestors? Now we accept this principle for every single different group of people on earth, you know. When someone comes out and says Kenya should be for Kenyan people, we're going to kick the white farmers off their land without even reimbursing them or anything and give it to Kenyan people, okay? People on the left and on the right and in the middle respect that and allow that to happen. I never hear anyone complaining about it. But when it comes to white people saying, wait a minute, this is our European homeland, our ancestors built this land, this is where we've been for thousands and thousands of years, we like it, we want to keep it for ourselves, we want to keep our own culture here, they get told that they're racist and that they have to accept more diversity because their communities are too white. Now, if you ever went to a Chinese school in China and you went and told those people that this school is too Chinese, I think you need some more Middle Easterners and some Africans in here to make it less Chinese. They would laugh at you, and if you persisted in pushing that agenda, they would kick you the hell out of their country, if not kill you. And ditto just about any other non-white nation on earth. For some reason, whites are the only people who accept this idea that less of them and more of other people in their own lands is a good thing. Every time we're asked to celebrate diversity, we're being asked to celebrate our own disenfranchisement, our own displacement, our own extinction in the long run. So that's the reason why diversity, in the sense that it's used by leftists and social justice warriors and even conservatives, is just not an acceptable concept in terms of more is better, in my opinion. I believe white people have a right to their own lands, just as every single other ethnic group on earth has a right to their own lands. I got a similar question down here. Right, and then the same person, when I told her the statistics that were going on, she said, really, well, I don't even believe these statistics. Okay, so they come up with another explanation for why what you're saying doesn't matter. They try to undermine every single thing you say. Well, those statistics are very easy to find. You can just Google them. I don't always back up every single thing I say with statistics because it's not always convenient to do so, provide a source. You know, I'm not actually a scientific journal. You can Google it for yourself and find out about the demographic change that's happened in London. And, you know, and then they go on to say, well, what does it really matter if whites disappear anyway? You know, and this is a very typical thing that you see normies do, you see SJWs do it, you see leftists do it, you see even conservatives do it, including Alex Jones, unfortunately. I say, what does it matter? I don't care if this country is brown in 100 years and there are no white people left. Well, you're not thinking in a very realistic manner. White people are a distinct group of people. Some scientists go so far as to call us a separate subspecies because we are so different from different races. Race is essentially a euphemistic word for subspecies. And when, for example, we actively work very hard to preserve every single subspecies of tigers. You know, there are about 7 different subspecies of tigers, Sumatran, Siberian, etc. We don't let them mate with each other. We keep them in different cages, we keep them in different lands so that they can perpetuate their own subspecies without losing the unique evolutionary changes that have taken place in them in different geographical areas. So we don't accept the killing off of subspecies of animals. Why should we accept the killing off of subspecies of humans? What's more, if we really are doing something that perpetuates the extinction of a particular subspecies of humans, such as whites, shouldn't whites be asked about this? Do you want to be eliminated? I don't. You know, I don't think most white people, if you went up to them in the street and said, do you want to be eliminated, replaced with completely foreign people, I don't think they'd say yes. And actually, in the US, when originally the founding fathers of the United States wanted citizenship only for white people, and they specifically wrote that down, only for white people, they were, in essence, white nationalists. The founding fathers of the United States were white nationalists, and that was only overturned very recently in 1965 when they pushed through this immigration law that prioritized non-whites instead of Europeans migrating into the US. Nowadays, 90% of migrants coming into the US are non-white. Previously, it was the exact opposite. 90% of migrants coming into the US were from Europe and they were white. Now, when that law was pushed through, Americans were very angry about it. They didn't want it to be pushed through, and they were told specifically that that new law would not change the demographic makeup of the country. Yet it has drastically. The entire US population has gone from about 90% white to about 60% white, and that's not even counting the illegals. And it's by 2050 it's going to be less than half are going to be white. So why is this important? Well, you've probably heard that we're all exactly the same. And if that's true, and we're all exactly the same, and race doesn't matter, then you have to ask yourself, why does diversity matter? Surely diversity only matters because we're different, right? I mean, otherwise there'd be no point in attempting to achieve more diversity from that perspective. And the fact that we're different means that we can actually look at the differences between different races of people, different subspecies, different ethnic groups. And we can see that we actually behave in different ways. Some groups have more crime. Some groups are better at saving money than others. Some groups are better at making money than others. Some groups tend to use more welfare than others. And this causes friction within society. because the groups that make more money have to pay more taxes to pay for the groups that make less money and use more welfare. And you probably know which groups those are without me even naming them, because it's just common knowledge. You don't even have to really think about it. But not only do we behave in different ways, we actually want different things, which is the reason that we vote for different politicians. The vast majority of white people vote for Republican. The vast majority of non-whites, every single election, vote for Democrats. The more non-whites we let in the country, the more often and likely it is that we get Democrat parties in office, when that's not actually what the white people in the country want. So that is a form of disenfranchisement. That is a form of having the ability to be a self-determining group of people is being taken away from us. And that's wrong. We recognize that as wrong for just about every other group of people on earth, and it's wrong for white people to have to go through that as well. So I believe that we deserve to have our own area, wherever it is in the world, however it comes about. I believe that we deserve to have our own area where we have self-determination. So, yeah, that's pretty much most of what I have to say about this. Someone's saying, now the immigrants are going to wipe you all out. I know, it's interesting, isn't it, how certain groups of people actually celebrate the disenfranchisement of white people. They look forward to it, they rub it on our faces, they laugh about it. Why should we have to put up with this? You know, I'm fed up with it. 1 minute we'll have the politicians and media and people in the street parroting about how diversity benefits us, and about how immigration benefits us, and the next minute they're saying, well, yes, actually it is rather a burden, and yes, actually you do have to have these very high rates of criminality and violence in your country, and yes, actually you do have to pay huge amounts of taxes to keep these people happy, but you deserve it because you're evil white people. Well, I've had enough of it, and I don't want any more. So thanks for watching. If you want to learn more about what I do, I have lots of videos like this on realitycallshow.com. Please subscribe here. Please share this broadcast. And please follow me on Twitter, TaraMcCarthy_14. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good day. Bye bye.